Welcome to another edition of Timeless Sports. My name is Aaron Brady, and we're here in our Victory Place studio in Dallas. In the NBA, you can look back over the years, and just certain players jump out at you just as players that revolutionized and changed the way the NBA is now played. Today, we're going to be debating who are the top 3 NBA players who completely changed and revolutionized the NBA. We'll get into that. But first, let's meet our Timeless Sports team. We've got Kyle Stark.
What's up?
Ronnie Gallant.
What up?
And Parker Smith.
Let's get it, boys.
All right, so Parker's going to start us off. Top 3 NBA players who revolutionized the game.
Okay, so when I looked at my top 3 players that revolutionized the game, a lot of them, honestly, I picked up that were kind of more recent. And so my third one actually was Steph Curry. And so he just revolutionized the game, the NBA that we see today. He made the 3-ball a lot more relevant, and also shooting just became that much more prevalent, especially deep range shooting. And so you look at Steph Curry, they call him the babyface ninja, and he's just this guy who's like an average, regular guy. He's not super tall, not super muscular, not super explosive and fast, but he just gets it done. And I think he has made a lot more people feel like they are able to push themselves to the next level. And he's made a lot more people care a lot more about shooting the 3-point ball efficiently, and even just doing the half-court shots and 3/4 court shots has become a thing that people practice now, even in their practices, and that coaches even have them practicing. And so you just see this happening throughout all of it. And so that's definitely a person I have. And then number 2, unfortunately, I have to say LeBron James. And this main revolutionizing the game is one, like, he actually has, at least critics saying he is challenging MJ as the greatest player of all time. To even have that debate and have people debating over that is something in itself. But one of the things that I think that he has legitimate debate with in comparison to Michael Jordan is his influence outside of the game, and how that is revolutionizing the game, basketball, even now. And so you look at what he's done for his community and the way he has donated, and even starting up a school is just, it's admirable, and I really respect that.
Amen.
Yeah. And it's caused other NBA players to start up their own foundations, start their own schools in their own communities. And so he's done so much on equality and talking about very controversial issues, and saying that it's more than just basketball, that it's also life. And so he's been a very, very public figure in that way. And so that's why I have him at number 2. And then number 1, I have Michael Jeffrey Jordan. I just think that you just see him, and everyone stuck out their tongue in the 90s. Everyone wanted the slam dunk and jam in the 90s. And even just looking at his brand, how that has lasted 20 plus years. And I think that's one of the ways he's revolutionized the games. He made people actually they earned a lot more money from outside of their NBA contracts, is because of Michael Jeffrey Jordan. That's the reason why you have people in State Farm commercials and doing movies and all these different things of getting their brand out there and finding revenue outside of just the basketball team and their contract. I think that's all because of Michael Jordan. So those are my top 3. It was Curry, LeBron, and Michael Jordan.
I think real quick to touch on what you said about LeBron, talking about it's more than just basketball. I think that's in a lot of sports, but especially in basketball, that they're proving it's like we're human as well. I think we dehumanize some athletes that are professionals that they're people too. So I thought that was a really good point.
Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, right.
Not a supporter.
So my top 3. So for number 3, I have, similar to Parker, was Steph Curry. As a middle school teacher and coach, the kids love the Warriors. Rightfully so. They're a good team. But basketball, when it's basketball season, every kid wants to shoot, no matter if they're a center who has no ability to do that, or a guard who that's all they want to do. The moment they touch a rebound, they're going to literally take from the paint an easy layup to now a 3-pointer. That's what they want. They don't want layups anymore. So I think the way Steph changed the game that way, where, like you said, the 3-point is relevant. The second one, for all you Dallas fans out there, is Dirk Nowitzki.
Yes. Switch 41.
Switch 41. That guy, you can tell how players after him have started to mold his game into theirs. One of the best, you could argue, in the league this year was Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Those years on the Thunder, when he was doing the turnaround fadeaway, that is Dirk written all over it. Not only just that they're mending his game, he's opened Europe to the NBA. Really, you could say he's one of the first biggest stars to come from Europe and be successful in the NBA. And then my number one is kind of maybe a little biased, but kind of changed the game in a different sense, is Bill Russell. One of the first African Americans to play in the NBA, and you could credit the reason that the Celtics have so many championships is because of Bill Russell. He has 11 rings. And you could say that he just game changed everything for them. That whole organization is that successful because of him.
Yeah.
And I definitely think, piggybacking off that with Dirk Nowitzki, I mean, yeah, he opened up the portal, I feel like, in a lot of ways of players outside of the United States coming in, and especially European players coming into the league. And Dallas has been a beneficiary, getting another amazing European player in Luka Doncic. But also that step back fade that he has that's unblockable. Man, there's nothing like it.
Kyle, what do you got for us?
Well, guys, this is kind of a fun one to talk about. First one that I did, now my number 3 is actually Allen Iverson.
Hey,
he did a lot, man. I mean, he showed up on the scene, rookie, crossing over MJ as a rookie. I mean, who are you? You know, you just show up and do that. Not only that, after he started arriving, they changed a couple things, right? NBA changes the dress code, makes people show up professional before, after games, all that kind of stuff. He's changed into a lot of things. He kind of had that kind of attitude that, and then because of that, they changed, like I said, the dress code and some other things.
We're talking about practice.
Yeah, but he was just like, his height, like he was small, he was short, showed up, dominated even being short. Changed a lot of things. My number 2, Steph Curry, like you guys talk about. I mean, everybody shoots threes, man. Nobody wants to. I mean, like, why would you go for 2 when you can get 3? You know, it's just more fun. It's exciting. It's whatever. So it's just kids and the way the basketball's changing. You look at the Rockets now, and you look at Golden State. They're shooting threes like crazy. It's because Steph went out there and did it 45-50% of the time, and they're like, wow, maybe people can actually do that. It changed the way people were playing basketball. But my number 1, Shaquille O'Neal.
Good.
Love Shaq. Love what he did, but he really did a lot. Okay, not only was he dominant when he was on the court, but he made them change a couple things. He pulled down a backboard, break it. NBA actually changed the material they built backboards and everything with.
Okay.
And after that scenario, so it changed that. And the whole hack a Shaq rule, a whole rule about it. Because of within the last 2 minutes of an NBA game, you can't foul somebody that doesn't have the ball, or their team immediately gets 2 shots and they get the ball back. So they're changing rules because, man, this guy was so dominant, but he couldn't shoot free throws to save his life.
Jeez.
So they would just foul him, make him shoot, foul him, make him shoot. So they changed the rules to kind of fit around him. But, I mean, man, this guy could settle down, look like he was playing with children, and get 30 points and 4 blocks and 12 rebounds on a night easy. But the way that he changed things as far as how they had to build backboards, because he was pulling them down, and then the hack a Shaq rule just really makes it a clear number 1 for me as far as how he impacted the NBA and changed it. So
I think that's really good too, and I think another point that you made. Allen Iverson, just the impact of the crossover is still used even today, and so I think that's a really good point. But also Shaq, I was really nervous in bringing that up, and I did not believe it, but I think, I'm starting to agree with you. I mean, changing what the backboard is made out of, because this is the first basically offensive lineman that played in the NBA that could just bulldoze and just hang on the rim with 300-something pounds. Like, you had to change what the rim was made of. And then also, the last 2-minute rule, because of being so terrible at free throws, everyone would just hack him, and that would just slow down the game. And so they made changes, kind of like the Major League Baseball team, the league used to do.
And teams had to play at either a different type of zone or something along those lines, because there wasn't one player that they could sit on him and have him do that. So they'd have to adjust things and try to find a way to get 2 people on him or something along those lines. But he really changed the way that went. So.
And now, Aaron, wrap it up for us.
Okay. Number 3, Dirk. Not even being biased, just what he did, not only for the international game like Ronnie talked about, he really did open the floodgates over there in Europe. To me, one of the biggest things is he was a big shooter, like literally a 7-foot shooter. He could shoot like Larry Bird, but Larry Bird was 6'9". Like Dirk's literally 7 feet tall. And to have a guy like Dirk be able to shoot the way that he shot, not only from the field, but from the free throw line, he's like a career 87, 88% free throw shooter at 7 feet tall. Other guys are 7 feet, like a Shaq or whatever. They're lucky if they hit 60% from the line. But like Dirk, from 7 feet tall, was able to shoot nearly 90% from the line over his career. And so to me, that's huge. And then also, like Ronnie alluded to a little bit, just his patented move of the fadeaway. I mean, literally, he was the first guy to do it. Now you see a lot of other guys do it. He opened the door for Durant, for Kristaps Porzingis, Giannis over there in Milwaukee. I mean, there are so many big guys that I think learned how to shoot like Dirk and how to play like Dirk from a 7-foot perspective. So to me, Dirk's number 3. Number 2, we go back to the, I guess, late 70s and 80s, and we look at Bird and Magic. I put them both kind of together, but to me, they were a big part of saving the NBA at that point. That rivalry that they had. First off, it's Boston-LA. It's pretty tough to have a better rivalry than that. But you got these two iconic figures going head-to-head in the playoffs consistently, and I just think it was great for the NBA. Larry Bird, I think, paved part of the way for a guy like Dirk. That's why I have him on the list. But Magic, I think, paved the way for a guy like LeBron. He was the quintessential first point forward. He was 6'6", 6'7", and the point guard. You really, up to that point, never seen that. Now you see a guy like LeBron, 6'8", 6'9". I guess what is it, 6'8", right? Yeah. Playing the point forward position out there in LA. So to me, that Magic and Bird rivalry really did some good things for the NBA. And then my number 1, nobody even had this in their top 3. I'm kind of surprised, but it is Julius Erving, Dr. J. Came into the league, 1976, retired in 87. He was a big part of that ABA to NBA. And he was the first guy to truly play above the rim. Like, there were so many highlights. He was the first guy to dunk from the free throw line. It wasn't MJ. Like, he paved the way for MJ. That's why I don't have MJ on this list. I don't have LeBron on this list. I don't have any of these guys that have played in the last 20 years, because literally Dr. J did what these guys did, but just did it earlier and paved the way. And even that shot where he goes behind the backboard down the baseline. I mean, I remember as a kid trying to practice that. He has had these extremely long arms, and he would literally drive baseline, scoop behind the backboard on one and come out on the other side of the backboard and lay it in. I mean, stuff that's just literally inhumane to be able to do. So to me, Dr. J really allowed the NBA to go above the rim, kind of this Showtime way of playing basketball, and I think paved the way for a lot of these guys we've seen in our lifetime in the last 25 or so years. We've seen these guys because of a guy like Dr. J and what he brought to the NBA. So,
I think to your number 2, Magic and Bird, it lasted for so long.
Yeah.
Also, like, it started when Indiana State versus Michigan State to Lakers Celtics for a long time.
And then even the Dream Team, the 92 Dream Team, having Bird, Magic, and MJ all on that team, that rivalry then became kind of their last hurrah, was them playing together on that Dream Team, which I think is a pretty neat way to end their run there. So.
Right. And the real question we all want to know what y'all think about is which one of these players has the greatest Instagram following? And so which one out of these players that we've mentioned has the most popularity and what really matters, and that's Instagram. So comment down below what you think about that and who you think's won that. And remember, this is Timeless Sports. Join the debate. We'd love it if you would like it, subscribe. Until next time, go Bears.